Hey kids, you trying to get into Segment City? Well, you really shouldn't, because Segment City is a mature podcast, and listener discretion is advised. I'm just trying to look at. I know I'm in an alleyway. I know how I look, but I got some fireworks for you kids. I got snakes and I got sparklers. That's all I got. Oh, don't give me that. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
Da-da-da-da.
Cut ties with all the lies you've been living in. If you would ever not like to see me again, I would understand.
Yeah.
I would understand.
Why'd you go falsetto and then also try to go deep on that one? That was a little...
Because
I appreciate your effort, and I think it's time to go to karaoke. Switch off the mics.
Oh, okay.
We got him now. We got infinite
free
time,
let's
baby.
do some
No
Foley
more
work.
podcast.
Let's just do some quick Foley work. In Segment City, welcome to Segment City. My name's Will Kane.
I'm Theo Sapakos.
And this is a podcast in which Theo and I prepare segments each week, and we try to surprise each other with what segments we come up with. Some are new, some are old. I got a new one for this week. But anyway,
I've got an old one for this week.
Okay, great.
So we gotta get a mix.
I was telling Theo before we started that I watched the new Magnificent Seven.
The new Magnificent
Seven.
The new Magnificent
I didn't do
Seven.
my voice exercises before
Magnificent Muffin and Bagel.
The Magnificent Seven, featuring Denzel Washington, Christopher Pratt, Vincent D'Onofrio, who is my favorite.
Pratt, it?
Chris Pratt, he's like a magician guy.
Cool.
He's weird. It was a good movie. It was too long. It was 2
that's
hours.
what I heard.
1/3 of it is them getting together. It is pure movie logic.
Wait, I'm confused. He did Magnificent Seven and also Hateful Eight?
No, he wasn't in Hateful Eight.
No, Quentin Tarantino.
What? What are you
Wasn't
talking
Hateful?
about?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Christopher Pratt.
Wait, are you talking about a Quentin Tarantino movie or not?
No, there was there was 3 movies that were blank number. There was
because when you said Magnificent Seven, I pictured Hateful Eight, and I was like, wait, Chris Pratt was in Hateful Eight?
No.
Okay,
There's Magnificent Seven.
I'm on the
They
right
all
track.
came out in the same
Okay.
time. There's Magnificent Seven, Ridiculous Six, and Hateful Eight.
And they all came out.
They all came out at the same time.
Good planning,
Anyway,
guys.
I watched Magnificent Seven. Hateful Eight's okay. Magnificent Seven has a bunch of dudes of varying cultural backgrounds try to defend a town from an evil baron. Because
Cool.
it's a remake of a very old Western, like one of the classics.
Okay.
And my favorite character, they go through and they introduce all the characters and they recruit them, and it takes no effort to recruit them, even though they're going on a suicide mission.
They're
It's
just
like,
on board.
yeah, they're just like, you want to be a good boy, and they're like, yeah, I want to be a
Nothing
good
else
boy.
going on.
And there's like great actors in it, like Ethan Hunt is in it, and his character's name is Goodnight.
Like K-N-I...
Good night.
Wait, is it like K-N-I-G-H-T?
No, like Goodnight.
Just Good Night?
Just Goodnight.
Just Good Night,
Because
okay.
he was a very famous sniper or something.
Okay, good
He's
night.
like a PTSD. But my favorite character is Vincent D'Onofrio's character, who's like, I forget the character's name. But they go up to these 2 like hunter guys, and they're like, hey, we're looking for this guy. And they're like, we just killed him. This is his gun. This shows that we killed him. And they're like, well, where's the body? And they're like, we hit him over the head with a rock, and he fell down a cliff. And they're like, okay, well, shit. Okay. And then an axe comes out of nowhere, hits one of the guys in the chest. The other guy goes, and starts running away. And then Vincent D'Onofrio's character comes in, head bloody from the rock they hit him with. And he just takes his rifle and starts beating the shit out of the guy. And then he just goes, I hope we all agree that in the eyes of the Lord, this is my property, and that I'm owed it. They stole it from me. And everyone just goes, yeah. And they're like, you want to go on a suicide mission? He goes, of course. Like,
sure, I'm only in part.
You're just like, what?
What?
He has the best voice. Like, I imagine them on set, and they're like, Vincent, welcome to the set. And he goes, yes, yes. And they're like, you're a great character actor. And he's like, mm-hmm. And they're like, what voice? Like, let's do the scene. And he just goes, my property. And they go, that's a bold choice.
That's a bold choice. Let's see how it plays out.
It plays out very funny.
Nice.
And he's my favorite character. Anyway, that was my opening segment of let me talk about Magnificent 7 for a bit.
There you go.
Do you want me to do Will's stupid thought?
Sure, that's a nice little warm up. I don't want to dive right into mine. I don't want to dive right into mine. Okay. It's too much of a meatball.
Oh my.
I'll let you decide what that means.
So Will's stupid thought for this week is I was at the local farmer's market on Friday, and I saw a man that looked like he walked by and he looked like he was going absolutely ham on a baguette.
He's just eating it?
Just eating a baguette. I didn't see anything in the baguette. And so my thought is, because I've been reading Game of Thrones, in medieval times, bread was a perfectly fine meal. You could be like, I'm eating a loaf of bread.
That's just a meal.
In modern times, you said, I'm going to eat a loaf of Wonder Bread for a meal. You would say, you are a psychopath.
You're a sociopath, yeah.
That's Will's stupid thought. Like, you can't, like in Lord of the Rings, they're like, I'm going to have bread and cheese. And you're like,
yeah, but to be fair, like, if someone was like, I'm having this sandwich on Wonder Bread, I'd still be like, you're crazy. Why would you do that?
Okay, let's say it's better bread. Like, if you go to a nice
if someone today was like, for lunch, I'm eating this baguette, I'd be like, weird flex, but like, okay.
But a whole bag, like, I feel like maybe it's because we know what carbs are now.
Maybe I'm biased because this is something my girlfriend Laura has actually done. Just sat down and eating a baguette.
This is a whole new light that I see Laura in. What the fuck, Laura?
So first day we went on a trip to Spain, and first day we got there, we were like poking around, and we were like listening to some street musicians, like playing some jazz, and Laura notices like a nearby bread shop, and she's like, "Hold on one sec, I'm gonna go to this bread shop." She comes back out with a baguette and just is eating it, and proceeds to walk around Madrid eating a baguette.
That's weird.
It's a vacation flex.
It's not a. I guess European food is better.
It's like, a really good hand food. It is,
but it's also weird.
You can tear it off into bite-sized pieces really easily. It's not messy.
When I think about it, like in the Aladdin Super Nintendo game, you would get bread and that's how you healed. And I'm like, that fucking loaf of bread looks
a loaf of bread, guys.
it looks so good and so tasty, and I just imagine biting into that bread and be like, this is good. And like when like Lord of the Rings, when they're like, we dined upon nice like bread and cheese to break off fast. I'm like, sounds good.
Olden times bread.
I could do that anytime.
Yeah, you could go get bread and cheese at any point,
and it'd be very cheap. But also, my dad sometimes eats just cheese sandwiches because that's just a thing he does, and I'm like, that sounds gross. Like, because it's American. It's American cheese on like sliced bread. I think the sliced bread makes it weirder. If it's fancier.
I think your perspective is coming from the fact that you're thinking of like shitty American bread and shitty American cheese. If you're thinking of like good European bread and good European cheese, not that weird.
I think we're just stumbling upon charcuterie.
Charcuterie.
It's just being a medieval peasant nowadays.
But it's fancy.
And there's meats.
And there's good cured meats.
But you don't eat charcuterie for a meal.
Oh, speaking of...
Unless you could have... Would you? How about this? You eat charcuterie by itself. Is that a meal?
So, I often do this when I go to a restaurant and I see that they have nachos. Rather than ordering an entree, I just order the nachos and eat them. Because it's like...
It is the same...
It's the same, right? It's the same. It's a meal, right?
I think it's in our heads because sometimes...
Charcuterie could very well just be a meal. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
There are times that I eat stuff that I'm like, this was not a meal. I cannot have a bag of chips, like a whole big bag of chips, and be like, that was a meal. I need actual... I need actual food.
I start eating a snack of like corn chips and salsa, and I'm like, this can't be my meal. And then I'm like, wait, I'm a grown-ass man. This can absolutely be my meal.
You can absolutely do that.
Yeah.
But it's also... I don't know. It's weird.
Speaking of hand fruits, though, today at work, someone came by my desk and they had a thing called cotton candy grapes.
Oh, I've had those.
Have you had those?
Have I had? I think I have had those once.
They were weird as heck.
They're weird as heck.
So from far away, they smell like cotton candy. If you smell them very close, they smell like a grape.
Yes.
And then when you taste them, they taste like cotton candy.
Yes.
Like they're really sweet.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's going on here? How'd they do this?
These magicians.
Do they like put cotton candy in the soil and it like sucks it up and puts it in the fruit? Because it's like so much sugar. How do you get the sugar in there?
You're a fucking idiot. You put the cotton candy in the soil.
You are what you eat, baby.
Sir, what are you doing? I'm putting this cotton candy in the soil. I mean, we are humans. I feel like in history would have done that. That is a thing people would have done, but I don't think it works that way. But then again, I don't know enough about...
It's not genetically modified. It's just...
It 100% is.
It's just planted
Are you kidding?
No, it's not genetically modified. It's just planted in sugar.
Oh, is it? Is it?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay.
It said non-GMO on the...
Go to your segment. We're just making shit up now.
Well, for my segment...
Yep.
We tried to do this another time, but it didn't come through. I found a little AI chatbot called Talk to Transformer.
Okay.
Where you put in
like a transformer?
Talk to Transformer.
Optimus Prime here. What's up, my dude?
So basically you give it a prompt, and based on probability, it fills in the next words up to a sentence. Or sorry, up to a paragraph, actually. Mm-hmm. So I thought it'd be fun to just put in some stuff and just read it. So for a little kickstart, I put in between two wolves.
Okay.
So I'll read you what it says. Between two wolves. It was a long and very ugly conversation. We got no good answers. Which is shockingly on point.
That is shockingly on point. That is what would happen.
We finally sat back and talked over our issues for the longest minute. After 2.5 hours, I had no idea what I was thinking, what I was doing, or what I was trying to do.
I'm a wolf. It makes sense.
The sun came up and I finally just realized what I was trying to do. And I was a bit drunk then and I couldn't think straight. So we sat on the couch and didn't move for another hour.
That's my nights.
That's my nights. That's my nights talking about between two wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
there's two wolves just howling at each other. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking.
I'm a little bit drunk and I don't know where.
I'm drunk on bloodlust.
It was an ugly conversation. We got nowhere.
Is it? That could be anything. That said nothing.
That's true. It was really poetic, though, wasn't it?
It's like a politician. It said nothing.
It was just word salad.
It was just word salad.
Yeah.
It sounded nice, but it didn't mean anything.
Wow. So what? We need another prompt for it. Give me a little.
We need another prompt. All right.
You just give it a few words. I know you said generate.
How many words does it need?
I don't know. However many as you want. It can do whatever.
Oh. Jimmy Neutron.
Just Jimmy Neutron?
Yeah.
Please hold.
Jimmy Neutron, boy genius.
Neutron, boy genius. Complete text. This one just came out with just a sentence. I guess it defined. Jimmy Neutron, boy genius, said Kevin Connolly. I'm afraid we might have been too kind.
Who the fuck is Kevin Connolly?
I don't know.
I didn't expect it to know what Jimmy Neutron was, because if it said like Carl, it said like, hey Jimmy,
No, it just made up another character and it was like, I don't know.
Are you going to finish that croissant? That croissant.
Go for it, kid.
Go for it, kid. Throws it, eats it like a pelican.
I'm gonna type in, you choose Spider-Man.
Oh, that's a good one.
Complete
if it said like, I would love it if it was like, you choose Spider-Man, says the pink Gerblin.
The pink Gerblin?
The pink Gerblin. Just wrong, like, but a little bit wrong.
You choose Spider-Man. In the case of this game, it's an easy wait, this is weird. It's an easy to understand choice. Spider-Man is great for the simple but complex task of running with your friends.
What the fuck?
Or running and jumping with a friend. Or just taking a walk. You can't get enough of Spider-Man. If you're a nerd who loves Spider-Man, click here to get more info about Spider-Man's comic book hero game.
It knows of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But it doesn't know it made a game?
A new running and jumping?
A new running and jumping game.
I think it tried to do this in the format of like, you've picked up a board game that is about Spider-Man.
You choosing has Mary Jane, you are choosing Mary Jane or a bus full of children.
You are choosing Spider-Man.
You choose Spider-Man. Welcome to our new game show. You choose Spider-Man.
It's just every week. It's like a game show. It's not a rookie.
We have Mary Jane, and she's like, fucking Christ.
For the 53rd consecutive episode, welcome back, Spider-Man.
Listen, we've had a lot of pragmatists on here, and they keep choosing the bus full of kids. But maybe Mary Jane will luck out this week. Let's see on You Choose Spider-Man. Put on that mask. We're gonna hide your identity. You don't get any money. You just make it so people don't die.
You choose.
You choose Spider-Man.
You have to choose either Mary Jane or 2 Green Goblins. Who are you going to save?
2 very real Willem Dafoes. The one in real life, Norman Osborn, and the weirdo in the mirror that he yells at during the movie Spider-Man.
Time for you to choose.
You choose Spider-Man. You want to get one more?
Sure, let's do one more. You have one for me?
Ooh. Vape Hero.
Hero this. Vape Hero.
Oh, I see what it comes.
It's writing a lot. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna
Christ.
read. It's like a whole dialogue here. Oh wait, here we go. Vape Hero vape juices. What are you smoking? We smoke a lot of cannabis, especially CBD oils. We have an extensive selection on our website. Also, because cannabis is so popular, it has a good chance to be grown in our area.
You know what vaping is.
What is the hip pocket? What is it? The hip pocket is a vaporizer that has a reservoir made with a removable drip tray for your oil or wax.
The hip pocket.
The refill reservoir is then filled inside the chamber of the device, and the heating chamber starts to cycle through different concentrates. Oh my god.
Theo.
Who does the vaping for?
Who does the vaping for? Who does it?
We love smoking, so we are the first choice when it comes to providing this service. We are able to help in any way necessary. They came up with a commercial.
How we've gone too far with technology, I think, at this
absolutely.
point. Also, I love that because I just imagine like a 90s commercial of just like kids come home from school and then it's like, hey kids, you want the cool pocket to have a hip pocket?
It's like a robot just said to advertise, hey kids, you want the cool pocket?
Cool pocket, which for your vapes,
for
your sick vapes.
Here, come and check out our vape juice.
Like a weird alternate future where they only have one commercial template and they just
insert.
put in the thing. Welcome to Vape. Would you like a hip pocket to have all your cannabis oil?
Who does the vaping for?
Would you like to smoke fat cotton? Yes.
Select yes.
Select yes now.
Dial 1 for yes.
For some fat clouds, and then the clouds come out of the phone and hit you in the face.
Oh, jeez.
That was weird, and I want us to do more, but also, let's do it another time.
Let's do it another time. It might be a reoccurring one.
Yeah, because I think we need to write down some.
Yeah, we'll find some good ones.
Theo, this is a brand new segment,
Ooh.
which is, it's going to be off the beaten path for what we normally do.
Is it called Off the Beaten Path?
No.
Well,
it is
hard
a thing.
out.
Normally we read stuff that other people write. I wrote my own thing this time.
What?
I know. I wrote a piece of fiction.
Is this some OC? Oh my god.
I'm actually like genuinely nervous.
Oh.
Because I'm putting this on the internet.
Here we go.
I wrote it. The first draft of this was like really weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then I rewrote it to be more cool, like, because I wrote it in a weird half sleep at work one day.
Okay.
And then I was like, I need to make this actually make sense because it didn't make any sense. So it only kind of does make sense now. It is called, it's going to be a recurring segment, hopefully, unless people send me a lot of hate mail
people
about
are like,
it.
Yeah.
And
That's what they would say.
It's called The Absurdity of Life. It is it's going to be in parts.
Okay.
So that we might like eventually do like a compilation if it's good and I keep doing it.
All right.
I like doing it.
Sit back for Will's story time.
Will's story time. The Absurdity of Life. Part 1. The Ashma... I already fucked up. Cancel it. The quick brown fox. Okay, I'm ready.
That's something you would type, not something you would say.
The quick... Oh.
All right. Weird flex.
The Ashmont building was not known as the height of luxury. In fact, it was quite the opposite. A brick and cinder block building that rose 5 stories, filled to the brim with cheap apartments. But Pete knew it would feel like home. It had to. He already paid the deposit. Today was move-in day for Pete, and fate had decreed that it shall be the hottest day of the summer. Sweat made his hands slippery as he fiddled with his keys while juggling bags and bins. After what felt like an eternity, he found the key to the main door. At that moment, an older woman pushed her way past him and opened the door anyway. Security was apparently not a priority in his new home, since she did not produce a key. He would remember that if he ever got packages. Pete waddled up to the door of his new apartment, resuming his juggling act to find the right key. Fortunately, this door seemed to lock. Unfortunately, it had multiple locks, all of varying make and size. By the time he had deciphered the lock puzzle, Pete was drenched in sweat. He walked in and threw his stuff on the floor. 1 trip down, 20 more to go. Pete continued to silent march up and down the stairs, carrying boxes and trash bags full of his junk. The sun was setting by the time he was done. He collapsed on a lumpy couch in the living room. My God, was it lumpy, but Pete was tired enough that it didn't matter. He hadn't even closed his eyes before a door slammed open. Pete bolted upright and twisted his head to find the source of the sound. A wave of smoke drifted out of the door as a tall, stick-thin silhouette emerged in the doorframe. An otherworldly moan reverberated through the apartment.
Is it me? Did you include me in your story?
No. Naturally, Pete... I'm not even in the story. I'm not Pete. Naturally, Pete thought what any sane person would think. This apartment is haunted, and the ghost was wasting no time at all. The ghoul turned his head, bones creaking and cracking as it slowly rotated. "Oh hey, what's up, dude?" It was his new roommate, Howard. Howard was a tall, bony, and had a shaggy hair of an even shaggier beard. Every hair on his body looked like it pointed in a different direction. Pete had never actually met Howard, which he now realized was a mistake. He found the listing for an open room on Craigslist and pounced on it without really vetting the place. He had been desperate. Pete didn't know how long Howard had been home. Pete didn't know how long Howard had been living there. Pete didn't know how old Howard was. Pete didn't know how long he had been silently staring at Howard, thinking these thoughts. Pete offered a "sup" to appear cool and casual, but he worried it made him seem quite the opposite. Howard eyed Pete's stuff and spotted a Beatles poster in the pile. "Nice. I love the Beatles." Yep, Pete thought. Everyone loves the Beatles. "I saw them live a few times." "Really?" "Mm-hmm." Pete considered this for a second and decided that either Howard was a liar or the smoke that seemed to follow Howard everywhere had pickled him to the point that he stopped aging. There was an awkward pause. "You ever partake in the devil's lettuce?" "You mean pot?" Pete knew this was a test. "I smoke sometimes." Pete knew what Howard was going to ask next. "You ever snort it?" Turns out Pete didn't know what he was going to say. "What? Do you ever snort pot?" Pete had never heard of snorting pot. He was used to smoking or ingesting it, but not snorting it. "I do it all the time," Howard said with a big dopey smile. That explained a lot. But then again, Pete didn't know what to believe, since Howard might be a liar. There was another pause. "Rent is on the 5th. And with a flourish, Howard pulled out a huge vape and transformed into a cloud of smoke and seeped beneath the crack beneath his door without opening it. Then the smoke cloud creeped back out, turned the corner into the kitchen, and floated a big bag of chips out of the cabinet and squeezed it underneath the door. Pete hoped he would never see Howard again. Then he remembered that Howard was his new roommate. That's the end of part 1.
Chapter 1!
Chapter 1.
Woo!
So yeah, tell
Howard,
me your thoughts.
What a kooky character Howard is.
It was weird. Like, the first draft of it was very weird, it was second person. Pete wasn't a character, wasn't a character. It was second person, like you.
Oh.
You went into your new apartment.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, this sounds weird.
This is weird, yeah.
So
I like it. It's cute.
It's only going to get weirder.
I like it. I like that it's going to get weirder. What was the inspiration for it?
Oh, I just I was looking at my life, and I had been listening to a lot of Welcome to Night Vale.
Yeah.
And there's certain kinds of fiction or comedy, which is there's the Alice in Wonderland, which is a normal person goes into a weird place.
Yeah.
There's the Mr. Bean, where a weird person goes into a normal place and causes havoc. And then there's the weird person in a weird place, and that is funny Night Vale stuff, but it's also weird and unapproachable sometimes. So I was like. And it was more that where he was
just a step towards that a little bit. Yeah.
Where the weirder stuff would happen and the character would just roll with it. But what I was like, that's not a very relatable character, so I just kind of made him
just a person, a normal dude,
just rolling with it, but also being like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Huh?
The line, Pete knew what he was going to ask next.
Yeah.
This was great. I was like, yeah, maybe, yeah. And then he was like, turns out Pete didn't know what he was going to ask next.
By the way, Howard actually turns into a smoke cloud. It's not like...
No, he's an
fancy.
actual.
He actually
right,
turns into a ghoul.
Right.
Yeah. So it only gets weirder. Stay tuned for more later. Anyway, segment, please.
On that spooky note, I bring you another spooky segment.
Is this a spooky one?
Because it's the Halloween.
No, it is.
I'm going to keep trying to make it the Halloween episode.
You're going to keep doing it every episode. Oh, the Goosebumps. Is it Goosebumps?
It's Goosebumps. For
do
you,
love
I have
Goosebumps.
prepared 3 of the worst that Goosebumps has to offer.
I love it. Okay, I'm ready.
How much Goosebumps did you read when you were a kid? Just out of curiosity.
I didn't read a lot of Goosebumps. I watched a bit of the show.
Was the show based on the books? It must have been, right?
Yes.
I wonder if they only made the good ones into shows.
No.
Because
They did not. No, they did. They made
because
the bad
I hope
ones
that
too.
you haven't heard of any of these. That's
okay,
my hope.
I'm ready.
So number 3, not near the worst, called "Go Eat Worms."
I haven't heard of this.
You haven't?
No. What is it? Just about eating worms?
Here's the blurb. This is big shouts out to the Goosebumps fandom Wikipedia, because they have a lot of good resources over there if you're interested.
There's a fucking Wikipedia.
Here's the blurb that they wrote. Obsessed with worms? That's putting it mildly. Todd is so fascinated with worms, he keeps a worm farm in his basement. Most of all, Tom loves torturing his sister and her best friend with the worms, dropping them into her hair, down their backs, until one day, after cutting a worm in half, Tom notices something strange. The rest of the worms seem to be staring at him. Suddenly, worms start showing up in the worst places for Todd.
I'm going
in
to
his bed.
pause you right then. There are times that I think that R.L. Stine has only heard of the concept of children and what they're like from stereotypes, because a little boy with a worm collection is the most on the nose thing in the world.
Yep.
He tortures his sister with it because she
Worms.
hates bugs.
So they start showing up in the worst places for Todd. In his bed, in his homework, even in his spaghetti. What's a worm lover to do when his own worm starts to gross him out?
I don't know. What do you do?
Do you want an actual synopsis? That's the brief overview.
That's the brief. Okay, so
basically
worms.
he loves bugs.
Why isn't this a win for him?
That's what I'm saying.
He's getting more worms. He wants them.
Basically it covered that
preferable.
where he loves worms. There's a couple of subplots.
I just want to know what the twist is. I want to know what's causing it.
So the twist is
I'm genuinely interested now.
So he has this worm farm. He's gonna go to the science fair. And another kid is doing another science fair that's also worm based, and he gets pissed and plans to plot revenge on the kid.
Okay.
So he goes to the kid's house, but to try to get revenge. But while he's there, he sees like this ghoul face, and he gets scared and runs away. And it turns out that
the ghoul face
is just a leftover Halloween decoration. Like that was just nothing, red herring.
Okay, yeah.
And then at the science fair, he comes in with his worms, and the other kid has a worm skyscraper, and he's pissed because it's way better than his was.
Oh shit. That is the loudest car in the world.
Just wait for that.
If that picked up on the mic, I'd be unsurprised.
So Todd... Okay, so basically the twist is he cuts the worm in half. The worms start showing up everywhere. He thinks it's his sister Regina.
Classic.
He asks Regina if it was her. She says no. So he goes down to the basement and apologizes to the worms and promises to stop. And then he overhears Regina saying that it was actually her, and he gets pissed.
And that's the end?
No.
Okay, that's another red herring. Okay.
So then he goes back outside, and he's digging up some worms, and a gigantic worm pops out of the earth.
And it says, "You have been trapping my children."
It says a line in here. Todd speculates that it must be the mother worm, and she is angry that he has hurt her children.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know. It's all over the place. And then another science project was a giant paper mache bird.
Are they all coming to life?
No,
because that would be more interesting.
And then someone walks by with the paper mache bird, and the mother worm thinks it's real and goes away, and Todd is free.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Wait, if that's number 3, what are number 2 and 1? Whoa! That was really shit.
Yeah, that was pretty garbo.
I feel like people really like R.L. Stine for the best of what he did, but he made a lot of like bad.
Yeah, these are the worst ones.
These are the schlock of the schlock.
He made like
a lot of
60. He made like 60 Goosebumps books or something stupid.
I would love to. I don't want to do this myself, but I would love to see somebody's blog that is a review of every
Goosebumps book ever.
All right. If somebody make that blog, please. I'm not going to.
I'm not going to either. I'm just going to tell you about 3 of them.
Okay.
All right. So number 2, beware of the purple peanut butter.
What?
So this is actually a choose your own adventure one.
Okay.
So the blurb is, your aunt and uncle told you to stay out of their basement. So, of course, you go check it out.
We have moldy peanut butter down there.
but actually, that's where you find the dusty old refrigerator. In the fridge, there are 2 containers. One is filled with purple goop. It smells just like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
What the fuck? Why would you look at the purple goop and be like, oh, yeah, okay.
Smells good. The other holds a piece of chocolate cake. Your stomach is growling. If you eat the purple goop, you start shrinking. Pretty soon, you'll start battling out with a gigantic monster, a mouse. If you choose the cake, you grow tall and giant. Now you're trying to escape the police. They're convinced you're a mutant alien. The choice is yours in this scary Goosebumps adventure that's packed with over 20 spooky endings.
What? So it's a choose your own adventure?
I said that.
Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry.
So here are some of the possible endings.
Yeah.
Some of them are lame.
You get squished.
One is you end up stuck in the refrigerator until you die.
Jesus Christ. R.L. Stine, you psycho.
I know. Another one. A mouse decides to adopt you and places you alongside its children.
You live as a mouse for the rest of your life.
That's it. You're a mouse child now. That's your life.
What is this Romulus and Remus shit? Like being nursed by a mouse.
Another one is you end up in a dollhouse and the dolls reveal that they can talk and move. You become a new housekeeper for a doll family in Dora's dollhouse.
What the fuck?
You become enslaved by dolls.
RL.
What
are you doing?
What are you doing? This is a children's book, RL.
These are only the tiny ones so far. I want to know what happens in the big ones.
Here's one. You are back to your normal size, but you've become magnetized. Wanting to see what your other abilities you possess now, you try it out at a recycling center. You're about to be crushed by hundreds of recyclable cans when it ends.
What?
I don't know how the magnetism showed up. I don't know where that came from.
That's not how things work.
You're small. Now you're big. Now you're magnetized.
You're a mutant. You're Iceman. Yep. You're fireman.
What? After trying the super duper reducer machine, you're back to your normal height. What? But your arms are too long and your legs are too thick and your head is too small.
So
that's the end.
So you become Theo Sapakos.
Wow. Freaking savage, dude.
Freaking savage.
Your legs are too thick and your head is too small. That's what it said.
you got massive legs, thick legs, small
and
brain,
tiny head.
Hey, how's it going?
Thick legs, he.
It's me, your son.
So there was a subplot of you run down to the basement because you were outrunning a bully named Barney. So here's an ending that involves him. Grabbing Barney, you try to get even with him, but you shrink down to your normal size, and Barney finds out it was just you all along. It's likely that Barney will have to beat you up.
You're so tall, I couldn't see your face.
Who are you?
Who is this masked vigilante?
Who's coming after me?
Let me beat the shit out of this dude that can grow big. Why would you not, like, I would immediately jump to superhero. They're going to grow big again, beat the shit out of me.
Yep.
Like, why would you fuck with that guy?
Yeah, it's likely Barney has to beat him up now.
Barney is an absolute idiot.
Barney is an idiot. Here's another ending. The government thinks you're an alien and captures you in an artificial spider net.
What? Is that when you're little?
I think that's when you're big.
Oh.
I think the government comes after you and you're big.
And then you get stuck, like, between two big buildings?
I guess. I don't know. I didn't actually read the book. Like,
I know, but still, I want you to know.
Here's actually one. I read a multi-paragraph synopsis of this book. Here is an ending that makes no fucking sense to me.
Okay.
Straining under the weight of Dodo the elephant, everyone in the circus realizes that you're nothing but a fraud. You are chased out of the 3 rings, and you get a job cleaning up after Dodo at the circus.
You were just at the circus!
I don't know.
You come back with a mustache, and you're like, it's me! I'm just another giant kid!
But I also don't know how we got there from being big or being small. Maybe you end up as a circus freak.
That's just classic adventure.
You get a circus freak.
Book shit.
I don't know.
Some rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle ass shit.
Just lazy. RL lazy.
You know what? you might be prolific, R.L. Stine, but you also are lazy.
You lazy.
And you come out with bad
basic.
books. I want to hear.
All right, number 1.
No, numero uno.
Numero uno of the bad list. Chicken.
Okay. I haven't heard any of these, by the way.
So this one I'm gonna have a longer synopsis because it's number 1 and it's terrible.
Okay, go for it. I'm ready.
Crystal and her brother Cole live on a chicken farm. One day, Crystal loses track of her brother. Crystal begins searching for Cole around town. She finds him near the edge of Vanessa's property. Cole and 2 friends dare each other to pour liquid onto Vanessa's mailbox.
What?
Gross.
They're peeing like
I don't know. They have like
they're not even. It's not like pee on her mailbox. It's we peed into jars and we're pouring it on the mailbox.
Way to like show not tell, RL. Just liquid. Wow.
It's just liquid. Oh, great. What kind? Was it viscous at least?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Did they jam it?
Ew.
Put some nice jam on there.
As soon as they start, Vanessa storms out of her house and they run home. The next day after school, Crystal and Cole are walking around town and they bump into Vanessa, who drops all of her groceries that she was carrying. Vanessa points to Crystal and says, "Chicken."
The classic witch's spell.
Chicken. Or maybe she just was carrying like a rotisserie chicken
Maybe
home.
She was hungry, yeah.
Maybe she just was carrying rotisserie chicken home and like wanted that chicken.
Maybe she has like an actual condition.
Yeah, maybe she
her tick is chicken. Like
chicken. The siblings quickly return home. At chorus practice the following day, Cole tries to sing a solo, but he accidentally starts clucking.
Okay. I want to just say I immediately know, I knew where this is going to go. It's an R.L. Stine book.
Yep.
They're going to turn into fucking chickens.
Yep. Later, Crystal goes to her friend's house to celebrate her friend's birthday party. While singing a birthday song, Crystal hears herself clucking. When Crystal tries to eat some cake, her lips feel firm, and she runs to the bathroom, and her lips look bumpy and hard like a beak.
Oh my god!
You know, you called it. She goes home. Cole reveals that he has started growing feathers.
I'm like a little bit mad because there is another Goosebumps book where a boy turns into a dog. He plagiarized himself.
He did.
He's so prolific that he's gone full circle.
Year of the... What's this year? Oh, this year's Year of the Chicken. All right,
let's go. Like, he could go full Spirited Away and do pigs next time. Like,
oh, wait. The next day, their parents are preparing for a barbecue, which Crystal helps with. Crystal and her mother see Cole eating chicken feet outside.
What?
They live on a farm. I don't know.
Do you eat chicken feet?
You can.
They don't look like they'd be good.
I don't think so.
They're all scaly.
Crystal initially goes to stop him, but instead changes her mind and starts eating chicken feet as well.
Dude,
Stop! Oh.
Do other chickens cannibalize their other chickens' feet?
No, chicken feed.
Oh! Oh my god! I thought it was chicken feet.
Oh,
I'm
girl, I see your feet over there. They looking. I'm looking hungry. Ooh, they looking tasty.
Chicken feed.
Eventually, okay. Crystal and Cole decide that they must confront Vanessa. The kids enter her house and find one of Vanessa's.
What the fuck?
They find one of Vanessa's spell books. She's like, "You're breaking the law. Get out of my house." No. The kids find the spell called Chicken, which they take. The kids find the spell for turning humans into chickens, and they try to perform the spell backwards. Classic.
Yep, as you do.
As you do. This causes the kids to turn into giant chickens.
They're fucked it up. They're idiots.
RL, you're really literary genius.
Are they just gonna I feel like this is gonna end one of two ways. Well, one of multiple ways, but the most likely, they just are chickens for the rest of their lives. And they end up getting cooked or something by their parents, something fucked. Because R.L. Stine
that's really dark.
Yeah.
Does he ever go that deep?
Oh, absolutely.
What?
There's ones with ghost children. There's fucked up shit. The dog one, the boy stays as a dog.
Just forever?
Forever.
Oh my god.
He's just a dog now.
How are you not supposed
to? There's a lot of ones that it's you think the kid's gonna learn their lesson, and then he says, "Fuck you! You're gonna be. This is your life now," or they're gonna turn back. That's the only two.
The kids try the spell again, and they turn themselves into tiny chicks. Vanessa appears and contemplates what to do with the chicks. Unable to talk, Crystal climbs onto Vanessa's typewriter and types out an apology and asks politely to be turned back into a human. Vanessa initially declines before explaining that she has cursed Crystal and Cole because they didn't apologize for bumping into her.
What a fucking vengeful asshole. There must be witches' code. Like, in Harry Potter is like, don't use magic. And this bitch is just going around just cursing people to be chickens.
Don't use magic and don't be a fucking Claude.
Don't be clumsy and knock into people. And then they're just like, fuck you, you're a chicken now. What
Crystal
power?
types out a message that thanks Vanessa for explaining. Vanessa's impressed by her humble letter and agrees to help. With that, Vanessa changes Crystal and Cole back into humans, and the three of them have a good laugh.
Fuck you, Vanessa, you ratchet ass bitch. They
have a good laugh.
They give ultimate power to, this is actually good writing at R.L. Stine, because this gets kids ready for the unfairness of life, that this fucking asshole kid who has just like, bump into me, fuck you, you're a chicken now, and you can be murdered for food at any time because you bumped into me.
Yeah.
Ultimate power in the hands of an idiot child. Sorry, I got really mad there.
It's okay.
I got
so here's how it wraps up. Vanessa gives the siblings some soda, which they thank her for. When Cole finishes his soda, he lowers his glass only to let out a loud burp. Both kids laugh. This infuriates Vanessa, causing her to point at them and cast another spell. Pig.
Oh, fuck you, Vanessa. Yeah, that's the classic end of like... Why would you hang out with Vanessa? Why would you not immediately run away?
Like, oh, thanks for turning us back into humans. Yeah, we're gonna go get the townspeople. We're gonna burn you at the stake, Vanessa.
What a thin-skinned...
Turns out we live in Salem, Massachusetts, Vanessa.
I thought that was gonna be the ending. Where it's like, this has been in olden times. Yo, what the fuck, R.L. Stine, though?
Dude, I feel like we could probably write comparably good selling books.
I wrote a thing now.
Yeah.
I can make a Goosebumps.
I can make a Goosebumps.
Let's make a Goosebumps.
Next time on... Wait, this will be an actual segment on our actual Halloween episode. We'll make a Goosebumps.
Stop. It's gonna be like, one of them's gonna come out like November, and it's not gonna be funny then. Like,
everyone's gonna be like,
there's a hard cutoff for Halloween.
Halloween festivities are over. We are on to Thanksgiving now.
We're done with Halloween.
We're done.
We're done.
What was that?
There's just a thing my brother does that is like...
Oh, actually, funny.
4 stem, 5 strength leather belt. This is from a video. It's weird. Anyway.
I was on the subway, quick anecdote. I was on the subway riding back from like downtown with my girlfriend, and there was this little kid in a stroller, and his dad was talking to him. He's like, do you want to go in the car or do you want to go to the park? And the kid looks him straight in the eye and goes, blah, 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 blah.
The dad dude. He was like, I could just imagine him staring at the
died
kid.
on the subway, and Laura was like, what's so funny? And I was just dying.
I can imagine the dad just staring at his child for like a solid minute and just looking up like, what have I made?
I think that may have been what happened, because after I was finished laughing, I looked back over and the kid was just looking at the wall going, boop, beep, boop, beep.
What is this kid? The dad's just like head and face.
Like, I guess I'll decide if we're going in the car or to the park. I guess it's on me now.
Wait, it was car or park?
Yeah, those are the two options. I don't know.
How are you getting these places?
I don't know. That's maybe why the kid had such a violent reaction.
You want to continue this day out, son? What the fuck, son? And then the dad just goes, chicken.
Wow, savage.
Chicken, you just, fuck you, son.
Wow,
you idiot.
Savage, dude.
We're savage here in Segment City. Thank you for listening to Segment City.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
If you enjoyed this episode, remember to leave a rating, a review.
Tell a friend.
Tell your friends to listen to it. Segment City is on all platforms that you can get podcasts that I know of. iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, everything. It's even going to be on YouTube.
Whoa.
So listen to us. That's it. Listen.
Listen to us.
Listen to us. And
today.
Send us an email at segmentcitypodcast@gmail.com if you want to submit a segment, or hit up our Twitter.
At Segment City.
And then, are we forgetting something?
Oh, yeah. We are. Big shout out to...
Oh, don't you point at me. I just did the entire ending, and you... No, I'm pointing at you. We're doing the Spider-Man thing. You can't point at me.
Thank you to Rachel Robinson. She did the intro music for our podcast and has a wonderful podcast of her own, Create Loud. Go check it out. Mm-hmm. And that's going to do it for us this week.
Happy Halloween. Halloween? We're recording this in like...
This is really hard to time. I have no idea when this is
like
going
in
to come out.
August. Oh, shit. Wait, shouldn't say that.
Don't date it.
Well, we'll cut that out, maybe. Don't cut it out. It's funny. So thank you, and good night from Segment City.